the nominee as required by the rules of the plenary. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Minority Leader. But how do you reject a nominee who is yet to be vetted?
Should I respond?
The report is not ready to be voted for. We are not at a stage of approval. So your conclusion is very preemptive.
No, Chairman, let me
It's
Chairman will respect. Chairman would.
This is not what I want you to respond.
No, Chairman.
So
but
I don't want your response on this.
To the extent that you've raised it, I just need to.
Chairman, please.
I just need to.
Honorable
Chairman,
Minority Leader, you have your day.
Chairman.
You have your day. The two microphones should be off.
Chairman,
the two microphones should be off. With all due respect,
we have registered our position.
Honorable Minority Leader,
that we have rejected. We don't need to vet
agreed on your position.
We reject it, and we
agreed on your position. Yes.
Yeah.
When it is time for voting, then you can vote against the nominee. Yes. So we thank you very much, and we wish you a very good luck. Honorable members.
Why you wishing us a good luck? One-sided.
Yes, sir. Yeah, okay. Yes. Honorable members, those present here, we have the constitutional quorum to proceed to vet the Chief Justice nominee and present our report accordingly to Parliament. On this note, we will proceed with the vetting questions, and my Lord Chief Justice nominee, members of the committee will then ask you questions, and you are expected to give response to those questions. Be calm and provide answers to these questions. With you by asking you to tell us briefly about yourself.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Please, before I answer the question, may I be expected to, may I be allowed to make a brief opening remarks?
Allowed you be allowed to do so after you have indicated to us who you are.
My name is Paul Bafobodi. I'm a justice of the Supreme Court. I've been a justice of the Supreme Court since 11th of June 2008. So 17 years plus I've been a Supreme Court judge. Before the 11th of June, for 2 years I was a justice of the Court of Appeal. Before then I was 6 years as a High Court judge and 7 years as a Circuit Court judge. I was born on the 26th of December 1956. I went to Kolongo Dumasi Secondary School in 1969, finished O-level in 1974 and A-level in 1976. I then proceeded to Legon, where I read BA Law from 1976 to 1979, entered the law school in 1979, and left in 1981. I was called to the bar in 1983, 2 years after I had graduated from the law school, because at the time we were being called to the bar, my colleagues were being called to the bar in 81, I was in Nigeria seeking greener pastures. I taught for 2 years in Nigeria before coming down to Ghana, when I was called to the bar and I started practicing law. As a practitioner for about 5 years in the chambers of Dr. Takiotu in Sekende, 1 year in Sekende, and 4 years in Kejetia chambers in Kumasi, where I practiced with my friend, the late Sir John, until 1988 when I joined the Ghana Prison Service. I joined the Ghana Prison Service in 1988, and I underwent 6 months military training, and I was posted to Sekende. That's where I met my wife. At the time I met my wife, he was also a Bobno rank person. She didn't have any rank, actually, a sixth former who was then starting her career in the prison service. I was with the prison service for 2 years, till 1990, when we were told that I, as a deputy superintendent of prisons, couldn't marry a junior officer because we couldn't go to the mess together. So I opted out of prison service so that she could stay. So I joined the Internal Revenue Service, where I was the legal officer in charge of Eastern and Volta regions, also for 2 years. Then finally joined the bench in 1992 December, and the rest is history. So I was posted to Duyayam Planta as a circuit court judge, brought to Kumasi. For 7 years I was circuit court judge, and I became high court judge, and then I'm now here. So I've been a Supreme Court judge for the past 17 years, until 22nd of April, when I was nominated to act as the Chief Justice during the period of the turbulence. And I'm here before you as a nominee for the position of Chief Justice. Now, if I may read my opening remarks, now that I've asked the first question.
Thank you very much. So, my Lord, beyond telling us about who you are, you indicated you have an opening remark. We've also seen your credentials. In giving us the opening remark, you should briefly describe the personal values and experiences that you believe most qualify you to serve as Ghana's Chief Justice.
Thank you.
You combine it with your remark.
Okay. Honorable Chairman, it is a profound honor for me to appear before you today as nominee for Chief Justice. The judiciary of Ghana stands at a defining moment. As I appear before you today to be vetted by Parliament, I do so fully aware that this process is not merely a constitutional requirement. It's a national reckoning. My nomination comes at a pivotal moment in Ghana's democratic journey, a moment marked by public skepticism, institutional fatigue, and a growing demand for justice that is not only delivered but deeply felt. As I step into this role, subject to your endorsement, the nation will look to me not merely to preserve the judiciary's legacy, but to renew it. The nation needs a judiciary that does not merely interpret the law, but elevates the nation's conscience. With your guidance and cooperation and that of all stakeholders, I pledge to restore confidence in our judiciary and leave it stronger than I found it. If I'm endorsed by you, I pledge to lead an era of greater transparency, efficiency, and accessibility in our judiciary. I do so mindful of the constitutional role of the judiciary, not as a political actor, but as a guardian of rights, checks against abuses, and final arbiter in the rule of law. I propose to anchor our transformation on 3 pillars: procedural clarity and predictability, efficiency and accountability, and open justice. If confirmed, I will stand with every judge, every staff, every court user, and every citizen in the belief that access to justice should not depend on who you are or your connections. The Constitution entrusts the Chief Justice not only with judging cases, but with guarding the credibility of justice itself. My task, if confirmed, is to ensure that the law remains both a shield for the weak and a restraint upon the powerful. With your guidance and cooperation, I pledge to restore confidence in our highest institution and leave it stronger than I found it. Now I am ready for your questions. Throughout my career, from prison service through the Internal Revenue Service and the Judicial Service, where I've been for the past 33 years, I have integrity. I've believed that everything that I've done as a judge has been done with integrity, honesty, and impartiality. I have charted a course of adjudication that believes that the law should be the law for everybody, and that it doesn't matter who you are and what you are. Once it comes to the law, it is no discriminator of persons. That has been my abounding lifestyle. And if anybody were to go through any of my files at any of these places, this is what you come up with: that this man is honest, this man has integrity, and this man has what it takes to be a leader. And I believe that I have what it takes to lead the judicial service.
Thank you very much. That is preliminary. I will then proceed to give the floor to Honorable Roxanne Nelson Kwame Eche Dapamekpo to ask questions. Honorable Member, you are entitled to 3 questions. You may ask up to 3 questions.
Chairman, thank you very much. I'm guided. My Lord, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And thank you for guiding me at the bar.
You're welcome.
My Lord, you have a very rich CV. But let me touch on a matter that is out there. What would you say to those who suggest that your nomination by the president was a reward for your holding in his favor in the 2013 election petition? It's some debate out there.
Well, I don't know. I don't know where to start from. I actually do not know. I wouldn't know what goes on in the president's mind since I'm not there. But I actually would be disappointed if my only qualification for the Chief Justice nomination is because I voted for the president in 2013. But that's on a lighter note. But I think I qualify for the position. As I said, I have been a Supreme Court judge for the past 17 years. I would not be presumptuous to say I am the best qualified person in the Supreme Court. No, I would say that. But I've been at the Supreme Court for the past 17 years. The person who has served nearest to me has been there for 10 years. Meaning I was at the Supreme Court in 2008. The next person came there in 2015. The others are from 2019 and then 2020. So I think I qualify for the position. And let me add something. I was actually, if you look at my CV and if you follow the trajectory of my career, I was actually admitted, I actually was made a circuit court judge by Chairman Rollins. Then I was promoted in 2000 and I was sworn in together with Senator Jamefe. I was sworn in by the then Vice President, President Mills. Then I was elevated to the Court of Appeal by President Kufuor. Then to the Supreme Court by President Kufuor. So if, that was 2008. So if 17 years later, another president deems it fit to elevate me to the position of a Chief Justice, I think I cut across all political boundaries. I don't think that, I think I'll be a reason for people to say that, oh, this man is deserving of the position. Because from Rollins, Mills, Kufuor, and then Mahama, I think I deserve the position, that's why. But as I said, the president might have personal reasons. I don't know that.
Very grateful.
Any further question?
Yes, my Lord, you have a very rich and expansive CV. I see that you've done, as part of your work as a juristic officer, you have also worked extensively in election and election-related matters, chaired a lot of committees. Now, the argument is out there regarding the duration that presidential election challenges take, all the 2 or 3 that we've had so far. Will you consider, if you get the approval of this House, will you consider introducing reforms such that, for instance, a challenge can be determined before inauguration on the 7th? Will you consider that? That is between the 7th of December and the 6th of January. Will you consider introducing?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Thank you, Honorable Chair. See, as part of the, as you said, I have been a member of the Election Management Committee of the Judicial Service since 2010. And then I became its chair in 2020. As a part of our engagements last year, we had a lot of stakeholder engagements with IPAC. We had stakeholder engagements with the CDD, CODEO, that is CSOs, and then the Peace Council. The main theme of these meetings was the fact that in 2013, the election petition lasted for almost, it was 8 months. The final decision came on the 29th of August. Essentially, I'm the only surviving member of that panel. Everybody else has retired. The final decision came on the 29th of August because one of the first drawbacks was we spent almost 1.5 months discussing whether to even allow the NDC as a party to join the action. In the long run, at the end of the day, by a majority of 6-3, NDC was joined to the action. It was one of the greatest mistakes we made in that particular trial. And that was one of the first things we touched on after the trial. We went into a conclave and came up with a decision that no, there was no need to join any other party. So CI 99 came up, and that was when we decided that the trial and everything could be done within 42 days. So discussions went on, and we agreed on 42 days maximum for presidential election petitions. And so in 2020, when there was an election petition, it was a straight fight between JDM and the